Good morning. I'm off to a wearables Internet of Things conference in Tel Aviv. I'm going to be on a panel later on with moderated by the Wall Street Journal, and I'll be on the panel with Daniel Brusilevsky who does social for the Golden State Warriors, and Miriam Joyer from previously Engadget, then Pebble, and now doing her own stuff. It's going to be an interesting day. Good morning, Roz. Good morning, Julie. Good morning, other familiar faces that I can't look at because I'm driving. So yeah, it's going to be a quick one today because it's really just a lot of common sense that I'm sure most of you already know, but I'll just kind of share my thoughts on the topic of how to write a Twitter bio or how not to write a Twitter bio. So a few no things, don't do things, and a few yes do things. But let's just start with the premise. What's the premise? What is a Twitter bio supposed to do? A Twitter bio is the subject line of an email, right? It's supposed to get me to open your Twitter account, right? So I see your Twitter account for whatever reason. You follow me, or someone tweets your name, whatever it is. I come across your Twitter bio, your Twitter profile. It's supposed to make me want to click through, read your tweets, and then follow you, right? That's the premise. That's why you have a Twitter bio. That's why you have an avatar. That's kind of the concept. Good morning, Toronto Pizzeria. That's random. So that's kind of just everything that you do on your Twitter bio profile should stem from that premise. The reason that it exists and what it's supposed to accomplish is have someone click through. Again, like a subject line of an email, which, by the way, is an interesting topic because a lot of times, and I know that Raz is CEO of Zula, and we're actually dealing with this right now in terms of a landing page. Like, what is the goal of a subject line? What is the goal of a landing page? It's meant to tease. It's meant to say to me, this is interesting, I'm curious, I'm going to click through. It's not meant to give me the whole story, because if it gives me the whole story, then I have no reason to read the email, right? So just remember that, take that into account. A lot of times people say to me in the subject line, write something like, I don't know whatever, the whole story. And I'm like, you want them to click through, that's gonna get the opposite effect. They're gonna be like, oh, that's the story, I'm not interested. Whereas if you write a teaser, then they'll click through. So a bio is meant to have me click through and eventually follow you. So what do you do in a bio? Should we start with the negative or the positive? I'd say let's start with the positive. You want, on the one hand, to tell me who you are, what you do, or whatever it is you're trying to accomplish on Twitter. So if it's a professional goal, and tell me what you do. Like, what space do you work at? I don't need to know your exact title. Maybe yes, maybe no. But give me the overview of who you are professionally. But don't keep it dry and professional. Like, add some wit, some humor, okay, this guy's somebody, or this girl's somebody I want to follow because, they're interesting. They're not going to be boring. If this person works in big data and you write, I'm a CTO of a big data company, that's great. And if I'm interested in big data, I'll follow you. But if I'm not, then you're putting me to sleep. Whereas if you write something a little bit witty, then maybe even if I'm not into big data, I might follow you. So keep it. One of the best brands using Meerkat is Toronto Pizzeria. Cool. So add on the one hand, be informational in terms of giving me the information that I need, but also don't keep it dry. So let's just talk a little bit about the things that you should not do, in my opinion. And again, full, kind of disclaimer, this is not, there's no rule book, right? This is my opinion. You want to ignore it, by all means ignore it, but this is what I think. I know that when I come across these things in a bio, I'm turned off. So let's talk about hashtags. I did a whole Meerkat on hashtag stuffing, right? Adding 5 hashtags to each tweet, adding 30 hashtags to your Instagram pictures, all that stuff, annoying as hell, but it's the worst in bios. Do not, please, for the love of God, have a bio and hashtags. You want to add one hashtag? Whatever. Not a fan, but if you want to, no big deal. But don't add 50 you can't add 50, but don't add 10 hashtags. Or don't have your entire bio in, hashtag love, hashtag tech, hashtag... Don't do that. Besides the fact that it's just difficult to read, it achieves really nothing. I think it does work in search, my understanding, but it's really, that's not... If you're going to get a follower because someone searched the word iPhone and they came across your bio, you can be sure that's not going to be a very engaged follower, and it's not going to get you much value. It's not organic, it's not natural, it's not human. Don't try to hijack search with your hashtags in your bio. Tell me who you are. Tell me why I should care, right? Like everything really that you're doing in marketing, anything you're doing really should be a story, right? Tell me who you are and why I care. That's really what it comes down to. Same thing is true for a bio. Do not have a bio of only hashtags. Again, difficult to read, spammy, and it's just ineffective. For every one follower you're going to get, you're going to annoy 10 people. Like it's just annoying. Don't do that. That's number one. Number two, for the love of God, do not call yourself a ninja, guru, expert, or anything else in your freaking bio. Okay, I just feel like you could be, someone once said to me, how many ninjas do you know that call themselves a ninja? Right? Like, somebody else can say it about you. Don't call yourself that. It just leaves a really bad impression on people. My bio once said, also a nice guy who likes to tweet or something like that. About myself. I wrote about myself that I'm a nice guy. Okay, someone commented and said, maybe you shouldn't call yourself a nice guy. Let someone else call you. That was a valid point. I think I took it out. My thought process was, I can say I try to be nice. People should know that I try to be nice. But, okay, I took it out. But the point is, calling yourself an expert or a guru or a ninja, or just, especially if it's social media expert, like, goodness, it is, like, so old already. Like, what does that even mean, a social media expert? You know how to talk to people? What makes you a social media expert? You have a PhD in social media? Don't call yourself that ever, anywhere, but definitely not on your Twitter bio, because anybody who's on Twitter is a social media expert, all right? Do me a favor. Just don't call yourself that. Not a guru, not a ninja, not an expert. Just don't call yourself that. It's just like, really, it is the biggest turnoff, for me at least. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but like, really, here comes bumper-to-bumper traffic. See you wearing an Uber T in the works with working with Uber Eats. That's awesome, Toronto Pizza. So a good friend of mine runs Uber Eats, Swathi. She's amazing. She was working on global expansion at Uber before she gave me this t-shirt. She was working on global expansion before she opened the Tel Aviv office, and now she's in charge of Uber Eats. Look her up, Swathi. She's amazing. Bust that knowledge every stream. Thank you so much. That's really nice of you to say. Don't use the words guru, expert, influencer. More importantly, use a good image. We're going to talk about images in a second, Mordechai, but yes, great minds think alike. I definitely recommend against using any of those words about yourself. In general, by the way. Like when I meet someone and they call them, oh my God, when someone calls himself a social media expert, like on LinkedIn or even in person, oh my God, it's like that's it. My brain turns off. I'm done with this person. This person cannot be a serious person. There are very few people in this world that I would call an expert at social media. Very, very few. Anyway, he wrote an amazing article about the ROI. What is the ROI of a piano? He's like, for me, it's 40 cents. I can't play piano for the life of me, but if you're Beethoven, the ROI of a piano is hundreds of millions or billions of that, whatever it is. And he's like, what's the ROI of basketball? For me, I lost money playing basketball because I got injured. For Kobe Bryant, it's $400 million. So it's not about the tool. It's about how you use the tool, right? I thought that was absolutely brilliant. It's not about the ROI of social media expert, right? I guess let's just say it as it is. There is almost no such thing as a social media expert. It's about how you use the tool. The tool is irrelevant. And I say that to people all the time. They want to work in marketing. I say the tool, you'll learn. You'll learn how to use Twitter. It's not a big deal. I wrote a guide about Twitter, like that answers every single question you can imagine. But it's about how you use it. If you have it up there, if you have a marketing, if you're inclined to do good marketing, if you're subtle, if you get it, if you're a storyteller. But forget social media expert. Don't put that in your bio ever, for the love of God. Oh my God, another thing that drives me cuckoo. Do not link me from your Twitter bio to your Facebook page. Do not link me from your Twitter bio to your LinkedIn page. Do not link me from your Twitter bio to your Instagram account. I'm here. Leave me here. Remember, what's the goal? Click through to your tweets and follow you. Send me away? Does that make any sense to you? Drives me crazy. Like, that's like literally like putting a landing page to download an app and then saying, go download this app instead. What? I'm here on Twitter. You're sending me to Instagram? That makes no sense. Not only is it annoying because I came here to find out who you are and you're sending me somewhere else, but it's so, like, counterintuitive of what you're trying to accomplish. What are you doing? Why are you sending me to another bio? I've actually seen people, I kid you not, I've seen people on Twitter in their Twitter bio link to their Twitter bio. I promise you. I kid you not. I wish I could find that profile and screenshot it. In the Twitter bio, the link that they have is their Twitter bio. That's like, what's his name say? Unmarketing on Twitter wrote, that's like adding a QR code to an app. Like, I can't scan something on my phone. Like, I'm on your Twitter bio. You're linking me to your Twitter. Are you for real? Like, what are you smoking, right? Just think, listen, again, this all comes down to common. Think about what you're doing, right? You're writing a bio so that people will be inclined to click follow eventually. Or just engage with you and get to know you, right? You're linking me away? Really? Does that make any sense? It doesn't make any sense. I mean, if that's your only property on the web, your Facebook account, you want people, I don't know. I just don't get it. To be honest with you, I really, really don't get it. It doesn't make any sense to me. We talked about hashtags. We talked about calling yourself a guru, ninja, expert, whatever we called. Oh my gosh, truck is a bad driver. We talked about linking me to places. Once I came to follow you on Twitter, that's definitely, let's talk about the picture. Hold on a second. Best statement, don't link to other platforms. Yeah, it's crazy. That is so true. It's about how you use the tool. Yeah, I love that blog post by Gary. I loved it. You got to read this article. He wrote it yesterday. What is the ROI of basketball? For me, I'm losing money in basketball, but Kobe Bryant's making $400 million. What's the ROI of basketball? It's not that. It's how you use the basketball, right? What's the ROI of a piano? What's the ROI of... He gave a whole list of examples. It depends who you are and how you use it, right? It was actually really brilliant, to be honest with you. What's the ROI of Disney toys? He's like, I don't know. For me, I could sell them on eBay for $5, but this guy reviews Disney toys on YouTube for $200 million, $20 million a year, whatever it is. Read the article. It's kind of brilliant. Let's talk about pictures for 1 second. So, okay, listen. if in 2015 you're on Twitter and you view Twitter as a platform of value that is valuable to you and can help you, and you don't have a picture, you don't have a profile picture, and you have an egg as your profile picture, then I don't know what's wrong with you. I can't. My brain doesn't grasp why you would not put a profile picture. Do you think people are going to engage with an egg? Like, honestly, think about it, right? Does it cost anything? No, it doesn't cost anything. QR code to email is my favorite statement on marketing. Best statement? Okay, so, not having a picture is just utter stupidity. I apologize to anybody who I'm offending, but it doesn't cost money. Put a picture on Twitter. By the way, same goes for LinkedIn, same goes for any other platform. You are a human being. The first thing any person sees on another human being is their face, right? Give me a face, okay? And I'm telling you that I told the story in the past, but when Alyssa Milano, the actress from Who's the Boss, who's now a huge geek and an awesome human being, followed me. So I did something that I am not a fan of doing, and I tell people not to do, and I DM'd her and I said, like, WTF, like, why are you following me? Like, how did you come across me? Like, who am I? And she's like, listen, you know, in my Twitter feed, day in, day out, I was like seeing retweet Hillel Fuld. People were always retweeting your blog posts, and I'm like, who's this Hillel Fuld guy? She's like, I came to your bio. I read your bio. It seemed interesting. It seemed cute. But then I was like, oh, he's a nice picture. He seems like a really nice human being. That is what she said to me. She's like, that is why I followed. Literally, like, and she's actually launched companies from one tweet because she followed me. So that a major part of Alyssa Milano following me on Twitter, both in terms of just having a relationship with her and actually launching companies, was my picture. So don't belittle the picture. So first of all, have a picture. Now, what kind of picture? So that really depends. What is the name of the article? Ooh, I don't know. Go follow Gary V on Facebook or Twitter. He tweeted it yesterday. I think it was something like, what's the ROI of social? I think that was the name, that was the article, the title, but I don't remember. I could look it up, but Meerkat doesn't let me put it in the background, so I can't do that. So, oh my God, this guy just got into a car accident with a very expensive Mercedes. Oh, that hurts bad. Wow. Anyway, so, okay, what kind of picture? So really that depends on your goals. I mean, if you're on Twitter, you know, it is a purely business tool for you, which, by the way, I don't think it should be. When I say purely business, I mean not human, not engaging as a human being. Yesterday I interviewed Sarah Snow from Glide. I don't know if you guys saw this. You should check out the video I did with her. She's like the face of Glide. Glide is a video messaging app, and we were talking about how every company needs a face. In my opinion, I mean, look at Rackspace. Rackspace is a freaking web hosting company. It's as unsexy as it gets. But they have Robert Scoble taking pictures of Google Glass in the shower. I'm giving you an example as a joke, but why does Rackspace pay Robert Scoble to go around meeting startups and doing everything he does? Because he's a face of the company. Oh man, I got a phone call in the middle of the stream. That's never happened before. How did that? You guys hear me back? I'm about my back. Can you hear me okay? How to determine the ROI of anything. That's, Mordechai wrote that. Alyssa Milano was also on Bewitched. Yes, she was. That's true. What is the name of the article? There you go. That's the name. So, I just got a phone call and it kicked me off and said keep streaming. So I hope you can hear me. Let me know if everything's okay. What's it called? So I don't, with very few exceptions, maybe a company profile, I get why it has a logo. With very few exceptions, I don't, on Twitter, I think you should have a picture of you, your face, right? Who am I talking to? I really am not a fan of people. There are people on Twitter who have a picture of like a computer mouse as their picture. I have people on Twitter that have the weirdest freaking pictures, like dude, I mean, put animated things aside. You want to make a cartoon of your face? All right, that's fine. Whatever. I'm a fan of seeing who I'm talking to. But that aside, like, have a face. Who am I talking to? It's be human, right? Have a picture. Now, please, this is something that boggles my mind. So we got past the stage of you understand that you need a picture, right? We got past the stage that you know you need a face picture. And then these people, and I don't understand it. I literally, like genuinely do not understand these people. Put a high-res picture. Don't put a grainy, like, crappy picture where I can zoom in and I don't see anything. Why do people do that? I genuinely am asking that question. Why do people do that? If they understand they have to put a picture so that I can see who I'm talking to, why would they put a low-res picture? I don't get that. Thanks. Good morning, Mordechai. Mary331, you're fine. Thank you. That's a first. Appreciate that. Anyway, so my point is, remember the premise. Remember what a Twitter bio and any bio is, for that matter, what the goal is, and write it and prepare it accordingly. So don't have hashtags as your Twitter bio. You want to add one for whatever reason, whatever. Don't add 10. Don't have 15. Don't have your entire Twitter bio written in hashtags. Don't do that in tweets either, by the way, but that's a topic for another time, which we already talked about. Don't call yourself a ninja, expert, guru, social media, blah, blah. Don't do that. You know what? You want to think you are? You're wrong. But think it. But don't say that. Don't introduce yourself as that. I can't think of anything worse to call yourself. That's just, like, ridiculous. Another thing I'm not a fan of, and this is, again, my opinion, is wife of, husband of. Like, all right, you know what? You want to be a proud husband, proud wife? Fine. I don't know. I just feel like you're wasting really prime real estate because your Twitter bio is 140 characters or 160 characters. I'm not sure. I think it's 160. And you're wasting it on wife of. All right, maybe if your husband or your wife is a hotshot and you want to, like, show that off, I get it. But I don't know. I'm not a fan. Just tell me who you are. Be an individual. Tell me who you are. Another thing that I'm not a fan of, and this is, again, my opinions, don't get all whatever. Unless you're on Twitter for political reasons, like purely political reasons, I would not go political in my bio, nor would I talk about anything that's polarizing. I wouldn't talk about anything that could be offensive to a lot of people. Like, why would you want to, I was talking to an amazing company yesterday about their blog. And he's like, okay, I'm going to write really high premium content. I'm going to target my exact niche. And I'm like, why would you limit yourself that way? Don't you want your blog to reach a wider audience so that the funnel can begin wide and then reach your audience at the end? You're writing content that only the amount of people will read, and then you know that 50% won't read it, so you're like targeting. Why would you want to polarize people? Why would you want to alienate people from your Twitter bio? You don't want to do that. Listen, unless you really, like, just don't want people who are liberals to follow you and you're whatever, or you're the opposite, whatever it is, then fine. But I'm not a fan of just, like, alienating people from the get-go. You want someone to follow you that maybe somebody you don't get along with politically or whatever it is, let them follow you. And you see tomorrow that you guys aren't hitting it off, you can unfollow, you can move on. But why would you want to offend people in your Twitter bio? I'm not a fan. Would you use Waze's ride with? Can be a nice meerkat with other people in the car. Yeah, I would use it. Why not? Although I drive to work every day, and there's no reason I should either. I should take the train. There's a train, like, from my house to my door, but whatever. So what did we talk about? We talked about hashtags, talked about calling yourself a guru, ninja, whatever. We talked about linking to other places. That drives me cuckoo. We talked about a high-res, normal picture of yourself, preferably smiling, or a nice picture. And we talked about don't alienate and polarize people, and I don't think polarize is the right word. Don't alienate people in your Twitter bio. Don't offend people, right? Obviously, don't offend people. I just think in general, on Twitter or on social, you should watch what you say very, very carefully, because you really don't know who's going to read it. I know that someone once asked me to meet, and I told her this to her face. That's why I'm okay saying this. She asked me to meet, and first thing I did was looked at her Facebook pictures, and I saw, like, really, really, really extreme political views that were offensive to me. Like, really offensive to me. Like, personally offensive to me. And I was like, I'm not meeting this person. And then by chance we met once, whatever, and I said to her, by the way, I just want to let you know that this really, really offended me. She's like, really? I have that? I'm going to get rid of it. I didn't mean that, blah, blah. And whatever. She's a super nice person, but I mean, that, you don't know, who's going to read it, whether it's a future employer or whatever it is. Don't be offensive, on social in general. That's my opinion. I think it will always come back to bite you, and I don't think it's a good idea ever. So yeah, just be, information, witty, positive. I just feel like people like positivity. People don't like negativity. I definitely would add some humor. Like, I've seen some really funny Twitter bios. Someone wrote something like, philanthropist, angel investor, millionaire, supermodel, pathological liar. So maybe you don't want to call yourself a pathological liar because some might take it seriously, but that was funny. That made me laugh. I don't know, if you make someone smile, I feel like that's the first step to having them follow it. Not that following is necessarily the ultimate goal, but building relationships is probably the ultimate goal, and that's not going to happen unless you give the person a good feeling. So I feel like humor is a good way to do that. Don't have like a ridiculous bio if your goal is business relationships, but a little wit can't hurt anyone. I think mine says, whatever I do, blogger, blah, 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 startup advisor, this and that, and I'm like, what did I say? Carnivore, I think I wrote in my Twitter bio. Like, I eat a lot of meat. I don't know. Just add something that, like, okay, he's also like professional, but she's also professional, and she's also kind of cute, personality-wise. I just think that can help. It can't hurt, and why not do that? That's just my opinion. So those are a few things that I would say not to do. A few things yes to do. Be positive. Be informational. Be witty. Have a good picture, cute picture that you would follow if you come across. And the same thing goes for tweets. Be positive, be optimistic, don't be negative, don't be, always ranting and whatever. Nothing wrong with an occasional rant, but that's it. That is all, folks. I'll be probably mirror-canning later on from this conference. There's some really hotshot people at this conference that I'm looking forward to meeting, like Daniel from the Golden State Warriors, and Miriam Joyer, or from the Wall Street Journal, and a few others. So it's going to be a great conference. I'm new here, Hillel. Steak Lover. I don't think my Twitter says Steak Lover. My email signature says Steak Lover. Excuse me. My Twitter bio says Carnivore. You're new here. Wenny K. Hey, what's up? Welcome. Let's see who's here. I'm in traffic. That's why I'm allowed to look at my screen, so no one will freak out on me. Because everyone always like, why are you doing this when you're driving? I'm not driving. I'm standing still, like completely. Good morning, Joshua Reef. Looking who else is here now. It looks like I'm driving. I know someone said to me, I'm driving literally 8 miles an hour right now. I'm bumper to bumper, basically. Mo, good morning, man. Let's see who else is here. Yeah, so Meerkat's taking a while to load the things here, so I can't really see who else is here. Linda, good morning. Well, not good morning for most of you, I guess. Good morning for me. It's 7:54 in the morning. Hey, Gabrielle, what's cooking? Wow, it takes way too long. Ryan, how you doing, man? Nice to see you the other day, dude. Daniel, how you doing? I know this. Joe. I definitely recognize that some of these avatars. I'm trying to figure out. It just takes too long to load. Alright, guys. Anyway, so I think that's pretty much what I have to say about that. Hey, Yonatan, good morning. Mitchell, what's cooking? Shari, how you doing? Hey. Malia, is that how you pronounce your name? It's an interesting name. Giselle, Joshua, we said. C. Nick Periscope. Your name is Periscope? I don't believe it. Oh, yeah. Thank you, G. Nick Periscope. Add your name. Have a name! For the love of God, I cannot understand the people that don't have a name on Twitter. A name. It is like the most basic thing. Give me your name. Who am I talking to? Don't have, your screen name is one thing, but your Twitter should have a name on it. Again, my opinion, if you want to, call it your name, your company, I'm not a fan. Have a name. I totally forgot to mention that. I guess that was so basic that I forgot to mention it, but yeah, have a name, please. Anyway, so just to sum up, and then I'm going to get out of here. Hashtags. One hashtag, not the end of the world. 15 hashtags, please don't. And don't call yourself a guru ninja social media expert in your Twitter bio. That's just silly. Don't link me away. I'm here. Keep me here, right? Have a high res profile picture that looks decent, preferably with a smile. Don't leave out your name. I mean, it's unbelievable I have to say this, but don't leave out your name. And there was one other thing that I said that I'm totally forgetting right now. I'm Shirley Ann Bearden. Hey, Shirley, what's cooking? Rhymes with Maria. Thanks, hello. Keep rocking, hello. Thank you so much. Yo, hey, Jonathan. Stefan is my name. Hey, good morning. Well, snap, I caught you. Hope you're well, sir. I am well, thank you, now that you're here. Anyway, guys, that is all, folks. I am off to this conference. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I'll be meerkatting later on. We're talking about Internet of Things and wearables. So if you have any ideas that you want me to talk about on the panel, shoot them over. I'm wearing a lot of wearables. I'm a big fan. All right, that's all, folks.